Would you like a budget Bentley, or maybe a Korean Maybach, or a $100,000 Rolls Royce? Well, take a look at the Genesis G90. Back in 2015, Hyundai spun off Genesis as its standalone luxury brand, and since then they have built some pretty impressive vehicles, but this here, the flagship, top-of-the-line luxury sedan, the G90, is seriously impressive. I am just as happy driving this vehicle as I am being driven in the back seat. For the powertrain, the G90 top-tier trim here has a 3.5 twin-turbo V6 with an E supercharger, so it is a mild hybrid. It makes 409 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque, all-wheel drive, 8-speed automatic transmission, adjustable height air suspension. It's a very smooth setup. It's pretty good for a full-size flagship luxury sedan. In terms of exterior styling, this G90 is finished in a matte white paint, which does look awesome. And it also features the signature Genesis two-line styling approach. So the DRLs and headlights up front are these thin two lines, and it's actually a really cool way of splitting both DRL, turn signal, and headlight functions. These two elements on the side too are also functional, and this hood is actually one big clamshell piece to eliminate some of the gaps, and it's a really nice design element. Coming along to the rear, we also have those thin two lines of lighting. It's a large vehicle. The proportions match that of a flagship luxury sedan, but it's not too ostentatious over the top. We have 21-inch wheels. It's got air suspension, adjustable height, and the doors. The doors are so cool. So the door handles pop out for you, and you go ahead and open the doors, and there are multiple ways to close the doors on a G90. From the exterior standpoint, you just simply touch that on the door handle, and it has power closed doors. That is pretty awesome. With that, let's hop inside. There are many things to talk about and share an experience with the G90. We're gonna take it for a drive, talk about the interior, the technology, what it's like to drive, and lastly, the value. So we get into the G90, and there are 4 different ways of closing the driver door. You can press the button on the door, you can press the button on the center console, and the door powers shut. Or you can also link it to hitting the brake pedal. So you get in the driver's door, put your foot on the brake, and the door will close itself. And then the last way is obviously the old-fashioned pulling the door shut yourself, but don't do that. You're in a G90. Let the car handle it for you. And with that, we're going to turn on my massage seats, heated steering wheel. And let's go drive and see what this G90 is like. On the inside, the G90 has everything. Well, almost everything. It doesn't have wireless CarPlay for some reason, but everything else it does have. We have heated and cooled and massage front and rear seats. Heated steering wheel. We have Napa leather covering all sorts of surfaces. The suede headliner. This is the Bordeaux interior color option. There are other options available too, and this one actually has forged carbon trim all over the interior with this really cool metal inlay pattern. Genesis also offers a recycled newspaper option for interior trim. It is a seriously nice place to be. In terms of technology, we have 2 12.3-inch digital screens here across the dash, the driver information cluster, and then the infotainment screen, which I have Apple CarPlay pulled up. But you can also go back to the built-in Genesis system, and you have everything from mood curator to the map to controlling vehicle settings. It's very, very nice. Mood curator is really fun. It has these predetermined things called vitality or delight or care or comfort, and it sets the music and the lighting and everything and the fragrances. So it's just one of these over-the-top luxury things that are fun to experience. I've definitely sat in the vehicle, had the massage seats going, and enjoyed vitality. This G90 also has a 23-speaker, 1700-watt Bang & Olufsen 3D surround sound system, which has all sorts of different sound profiles and modes. It is phenomenal, and also has a speaker in the driver headrest where the turn signal chime actually plays through that, and also if it warns you of a red light camera, something like that, it plays a little voice through the driver headrest, which the first time that went off, it scared the crap out of me because there was like a lady telling me red light camera ahead. I'm like, whoa, what? The sound system is definitely great. It has all sorts of luxury and tech features. I mean, this thing checks all the boxes. Driver assistance systems. We have highway driving assist, where on a road you can go to lane keeping assist, adaptive have cruise control. It'll make lane changes. You do have to keep a hand on the steering wheel, but it's a very good system too. And all while you're just cruising along with your massage seats going, listening to your favorite song, it is a very relaxing place to be. And to me, these executive luxury sedans, these top-tier vehicles, they have to deliver the ability for you to arrive more relaxed than you left home. And the G90 definitely checks those boxes. It's very quiet and isolated from the outside world. We have laminated acoustic glass. We have active noise canceling. The air suspension is very advanced too. It has the ability to preview the road in front with a camera and adjust the suspension if it sees a bump. That's Mercedes S-Class level technology, and it certainly isolates you very well from the outside world. The G90 also has rear-wheel steering, which the point of rear-wheel steering is to virtually shorten the wheelbase if you're trying to make maneuvering, turns, things like that, by turning the rear wheels opposite of the front wheels. And then at higher speeds, it can turn in phase of the front wheels to provide more stability. So the G90 does have rear wheel steering. Other sorts of technology in this vehicle include surround view camera. We do have blind view monitor, which is one of my favorite features of all the latest Kia, Genesis, and Hyundai family vehicles. When you go to indicate whether you're making a turn or making a lane change, it pops up a little camera view in the driver cluster live, and it's a really cool addition to just regular blind spot monitoring with little indicator on the mirror itself. The live camera feed is a very, very cool piece of technology. The driving experience in a G90 is very smooth. The powertrain, this twin-turbo V6 with the E-supercharger, delivers torque very seamlessly. The transmission shifts fairly nicely, and that's, I think, what you want out of this. I don't view this as one of the more sporty of the executive luxury sedans. Mercedes will try to build an S63 AMG, you get the V12 BMW M760 Li, and they're definitely capable. Look at an Audi A8. But when you're buying a vehicle like this, I would rather have just a cloud-like ride with the air suspension, isolation from the world. That's what I'm looking for, and it does deliver that. We do have different drive modes, which you toggle through this drive mode button on the center console. We go from eco to comfort to sport, but like I wouldn't use sport. I can already feel the suspension firming up a bit. Nah, I'm not gonna bother. But the cool thing is if you hold the drive mode button down, it can go into chauffeur mode, which then prioritizes the comfort of your rear seat passengers because you're chauffeuring them. It changes air suspension, it changes the feel of the brake pedal slightly to all make it a smoother experience. The rear passenger seat is where you really want to be. That's where you can fully recline. There's a leg rest that comes out. As the driver, I have the ability to adjust the front passenger seat to move it all the way forward, get it out of the way to ensure that my rear passenger has the max amount of leg room. There is a console that folds down in between the two rear seats where there's a touchscreen that controls everything from your massage settings to the climate to the lighting. You can adjust the front passenger seat from that rear seat also. It's just the full executive luxury experience back there. Honestly, it matches the latest Mercedes S-Class and even vehicles outside of the class in terms of rear space, comfort, all of it. I sat back there earlier and almost fell asleep and took a nap. It was great. In terms of value, the G90 is not as much of a bargain as it used to be. They used to be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 cheaper than some of the rivals, but we're still competing with Mercedes S-Class, BMW 7 Series, Audi A8, Lexus LS, and as option, this one is $101,295. It has a $1,500 matte white paint option. Base price for a top-of-the-line E-supercharger model is $98,700, and they come effectively fully optioned. You get all the driver assistance stuff, the luxury features, the materials. So at $101,000, I still think this is quite a good value because you get things like the power closed doors, the massage seats, the special luxury touches that you expect out of a vehicle of this caliber. Going up against like a Mercedes S-Class, similarly optioned, that may be $120,000, $130,000. Lexus LS 500, the BMW 7 Series, they may be closer. And the only detriment the Genesis G90 really has is it hasn't quite established the brand prestige. Customers shopping in this six-figure luxury sedan price point have status in mind. They definitely are looking for a established vehicle like a Mercedes S-Class, right? You go to any country club in the world, there's going to be dozens of them scattered across the parking lot because it's the Mercedes S-Class. So that's the only thing you could possibly hold against the G90, because in every other objective way and from experiencing it, I say it competes. We also do need to mention the very impressive warranty system that Genesis offers. You get a 3-year, $36,000 complimentary maintenance, then 6-year, 50,000-mile full warranty, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. So that definitely is another add-on bonus to selecting the Genesis over some of these other competitors that I mentioned. This has been a very relaxing and enjoyable week driving the G90. It's also very relaxing and enjoyable to be driven in the G90. I've experienced both. The power closing doors are one of my favorite features. It's just a lot of fun. Hop in the car, push the brake pedal, push the button, and the door closes. I personally only experienced that in like a Rolls-Royce Ghost or a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. It's really fun. There's so many different pieces of technology and luxury that just make the driver and passenger experience above the ordinary. So it accomplishes that of being a flagship luxury sedan. Cool styling, great quality, great tech, nice and isolated. This thing is properly impressive. Hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Genesis G90. Make sure you also check out the Living With vlog, where I get much more behind the scenes, much more informal, showing you some of the details, what it was like to live with this vehicle on a day-to-day basis, heading to work, getting driven around, taking some friends to lunch with the vehicle. It is awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.